Downtown Cleveland, Ohio, Tom Hammond, Sandra Bezick, Scott Hamilton here for the men's free skate on the final day of the AT&T U.S. Figure Skating Championships. The first time the championships have been in this city since 2000, when that man was part of a rivalry that was born that year between two junior skaters. Evan Lysacek, who would win that U.S. Junior Championship here in Cleveland in the year 2000. And Johnny Weir. Johnny Weir would wind up in 5th place in that junior competition. As they matured, their rivalry grew, and between them, they've now taken the last 5 U.S. titles. Here in Cleveland, Lysacek did as expected. He's in 2nd place, but Weir imploded in the short program, finds himself in 7th place, not even in the final group of skaters. So what went wrong for Johnny?
You sense a little apprehension. You sense a little bit of nerves. Not quite the fire in his eyes that we're used to seeing. He never misses in the short program. And he started off just fine. Triple Lutz, triple toe, business as usual. He's normally a solid short program skater.
And here's the axle. Great, big, huge pop that cost him at least 8 points. He was devastated. He knew that he was in such trouble at that point, as did his coach, Galina Svianskaya.
So that was Friday night, and this is live now, trying to put that disappointment behind him and come up with a superb free skate. Talking to his coach, Galina Svianskaya. And the question I have is how far can he come up in the standings with a good free skate? We saw Ashley Wagner in the ladies competition begin in 12th place before the free skate, win the free skate, and climb all the way up to 4th. Johnny starts here in 7th place. How high can he go?
Well, he's only about 6 points back from 3rd place, so it is very, very possible that it's such a strong field. All the men are skating so well. He can't make a mistake.
He's got to shake it off. He's just got to shake it off.
It's mistake. Okay? Right now, everybody will be happy. Everybody love it. Вот что тебе поможет. Сцепи зубы, иди, все может. Все веришь. Everything поможет. Не торопись. С Богом.
He represents the skating club of New York, New York City. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Weir.
Galina often speaks to him in Russian. Sounded like it was English that time. Johnny, of course, loves everything Russian. Trying to climb up in the standings here and make the world team for the U.S. Make the U.S. world team and go to the World Championships to be held in Los Angeles in March. Johnny made several trips to Asia, had a couple of serious viral infections, lost some weight, some training time. Don't know if that affected him or not, but trying to come back after that short program.
I think that loss of training time has affected him a lot, Tom. He's been so trained, but here this week he's been tentative. He needs this opening triple axel combination.
Single again. It was 50-50 in warm-up. You just sense his timing being a little off, and if there's any disruption in the timing, you're toast.
And confidence in the back of his mind that had to be Friday night still there, right?
But he constructed this program brilliantly. He's got 2 more axle passes right off the bat. This one next, another triple axle here. Done. Combination. Now the 3rd jump is supposed to be a double axle, but I'm sure he'll make it a triple.
It has to be.
Triple sow. He's reinventing his program. He did this in the past, where he would...
Here it is.
Double axle. Your list of elements guidance that you're given would sometimes shift because he'd be thinking through his program.
Just improvise as you're on the ice, huh?
But you can't compete that way, not successfully. You have to skate the program that you've been training all year.
We'll say it again, every moment in these programs under this new scoring system matters. The spins, what edge you're on, the positions, the quality of the spins, everything collects points. Double loop. You need to commit to these jumps and the rotation. If there's any hesitancy, you're probably not going to make it happen. Important combination here. Triple Lutz, double toe, triple toe, double toe. That'll get him some points back, but enough mistakes already. The field's going to have to come back to him. He's not going toward the field. Watching Johnny Weir, you kind of sit back in your chair and you watch it happen. But here, I've been sitting a little bit more forward in my chair, hoping it would happen. Not the normal, relaxed, confident nature he approaches his program. Hesitated on a lot of his jumps. It's probably the worst long program I've seen him deliver. Ever.
Certainly in the last several years, because he's been so trained.
A disappointing time in Cleveland for three-time U.S. champion Johnny Weir. Was Friday still in his mind? Was that part of the problem?
I think this is an extension of Friday. I don't know if you can say it was on his mind. I just think that the way that he is here is off.
I think the last couple of months have been on his mind. It's heartbreaking. He just didn't have the time to catch up and get well, get fit, get healthy.
Still a warm response from the crowd? They still love him?
Oh, they'll absolutely still love him. And, you know, it's not like this is the end of his career. I mean, it's just one bad week, you know, and
but
he's
it's costly. It's a costly week for him.
At least it's not next year.
Yep, got to be thinking about next year in the Olympics. That would be the ultimate goal.
Yeah, I mean, you choose your spots. You know, if you're going to blow up here.
This year.
Don't blow up next year.
Johnny Weir will have his marks when we return to Cleveland. Johnny Weir awaiting his scores with tears cascading down his face, and while we're away, his coach Galina Zemeskaya trying to comfort him.
She said that when he was sick, she was feeding him, cooking him dinners, trying to get his strength back.
At the scores for
Heartbreaking.
Johnny Weir,
There are his scores.
63.87. The program component score.
Free skate 133 total. Contrast that with his personal best of 151, and the total 203.99 puts him into first place, but still with 8 skaters to come.
20 points off his last year's world score. So it's, you know, devastating, disappointing nationals for him, but a learning experience perhaps.
Jeremy Abbott backstage. He's the leader. He's awaiting his free skate. He'll be coming onto the ice later, and that final group will have live coverage, of course. And coming up next, we'll look back at Friday's men's short program.
And first on the ice for the men's short program is the 2-time defending champion, Evan Lysacek. His coach, Frank Caro, telling him just before he took the ice, let's do something special.
I think this is the toughest place to skate. The first skater in the entire event. And he opens with triple axel. Not his biggest triple axel I've seen, but he was able to complete the rotations. It's difficult to skate first because you're flying blind. You don't know what anybody else has done because you're the first skater. And you're kind of setting the stage for everybody else. Combination here, triple Lutz, nicely done into triple toe loop, beautiful.
And he hasn't competed since November 1st because he didn't qualify for the Grand Prix final. And then is asked to come out first here at the Nationals.
Nicely done,
Nice triple flip. The name of the game for Evan in this competition was to complete fully rotated jumps. He's been downgraded a few times this season. It's been a frustration for him.
Short program, 8 required elements. This is one of them, a circular step sequence, and he's pulling every point he possibly can out of this step sequence. Judges are judging everything.
Sequences are required. This is his second.
And he's been working on his footwork, hasn't he?
He went to choreographer Tatiana Tarasova to do these programs this year for a change, and it wasn't quite working out for him, so he invited Lori Nicol back to work out this particular footwork sequence to make sure it required all the points and turns possible. Last element, the combination spin right here. He should be very happy with that effort.
Evan Lysacek.
You can always count on Evan for a performance. Opening triple axel. He didn't get the height he normally does. He slipped a little bit off that takeoff. He's a tall man. It's a lot to rotate. He got all the way around. He should get full credit for that complete rotation, but not the biggest triple axel I've seen him do. But the combination was exquisite. Just perfect. Beautiful triple Lutz right into the triple toe loop. Nice flow out of it. Good attack. Well done. And as always, Evan gains energy as he performs, and he's able to lift this audience, mesmerizing them with his footwork, the turns. The judges are looking at it all, of course. The sequence reworked by Lori Nickel. And again, you have to think of everything, the upper body, the footwork, the turns.
Just two.
And his reaction is he is the first man on the ice in the short program. And here are the scores for Evan Lysacek, putting down the scores that the others will be shooting after. 83.59.
And the second score for the short program, 83.59.
That's good.
On behalf of the Rollmore Skating Club in Colorado Springs, Colorado, here is Jeremy Abbott.
Now here's the hot skater Jeremy Abbott, fourth at the U.S. Championships the last 2 years. But he won the Grand Prix final this season. His total score there, the highest ever by a U.S. man under the code of points, giving him a lot of confidence and also a lot of expectations as he comes to Cleveland. He's been working with Paul Wiley, the 1992 Olympic silver medalist, who is watching from the stands.
To break through, he got the best skating or you can absolutely ask for, to go right after the U.S. reigning national champion. You want to beat him, it's the best place to skate, right after him. He threw it down. Let's see what Jeremy can do.
Not intimidated at all by that?
We'll see. Opening combination is triple flip into triple toe. A lot of speed. Look at the height he gets on this jump. So easy. Beautifully landed. Lots of speed coming out.
One of the reasons Jeremy's done so well this year is the difficulty going into his jumps. Watch this entrance, all on one foot into a triple axel.
Nicely done.
Still on one foot coming out.
Jump in this program, connecting steps right here into triple Lutz. Very difficult takeoff right there. Beautifully landed. He does his step sequences back to back. He just did a circular sequence, and now he's going right into his straight line sequence. Not delivered with the same passion as Evan Lysacek, but a lot of difficulty here. He's just trying to pull every level of difficulty he can.
He's smooth, beautiful edges, beautifully worked with the music.
Different artistic approach, but same result, a clean, short program, and he answered Evan Lysacek. That was really brilliantly delivered.
And it looks like the momentum he gained from that Grand Prix final win is carried over here for Jeremy Abbott.
He took the momentum from the Grand Prix, and he also took the momentum from Evan's performance. He was, nope, I'm going to take this audience and make them my own.
A lot of speed going into this combination. Triple flip, good height on that, good flow coming out right into triple toe loop. Speed coming out was brilliant. He should get some extra credit for that.
But what's special about Jeremy's work is what goes on before and after the jumps. All off one foot entrance into this triple axel, really difficult. And then he continues working those edges. All of those little moves will garner him points.
The quality of that triple axel, I think, was superior to Evan. So Evan was deducted about a half a point for the grade of execution on his triple axel. I'm sure Jeremy will probably get a little extra for his triple axel. But again, a different delivery. Jeremy's much more smooth, soft sell, and Evan's much more dynamic. So you're still going to get the same credit for the footwork sequence if you do what is required.
And here are the scores for Jeremy Abbott. 86.40, which puts him past Lysacek and into first place.
And it's a grade of execution. You got so much more extra credit. A point and a half extra for the triple axel. A point and a half extra for the quality of the combination. He milked every point he could out of this short program. Brilliantly delivered. And he did it at the perfect time, right after the man you want to be.
Jeremy Abbott remains on fire.
Hey, Madison. Hey, Dylan.
And now here is a fan favorite for sure because he's from Cleveland. Parker Pennington.
He seems to have a renewed focus, practicing really well. Cleveland in front of his home crowd, you know, this must mean a lot to him. Last few years have been disappointing. He's been going down in the rankings instead of up. His consistency has suffered.
His best finished 6th in 2003.
Triple axel, beautifully landed. Oh, man.
This is his 8th appearance at the U.S. Nationals. Clean performances have eluded him. He needs this combination.
Triple Lutz, triple toe loop.
He's got it.
Last jump here, a triple flip. Perfect. Oh, man.
This past August, he returned here to Cleveland and rejoined his longtime coach, Carol Heiss-Jenkins, the 1960 Olympic champion. Trained with her for more than 10 years, from 92 to 2003.
Just great to see him skating with so much passion. You get past that minefield of the first 3 jumps. It's so beautifully landed, all those jumping passes. And to see him put out this kind of performance level, it's a huge change, a refreshing one from what he's been through the last few years. Speed on the spin.
Nicely blended with the music.
World Championships. He's not going to be anywhere near 11th place after that performance. Wow.
Given a lift by the home crowd, no doubt. Parker Pennington.
He's put a lot of years in to get here. It's a sweet moment for him.
A dear friend of mine once told me, if you do anything long enough, everything will happen to you. Certainly the case for Parker Pennington. He's been here a long time, almost a journeyman in the senior men's ranks, and he just threw down the best short program of his life.
He opened with just a great triple axel.
Look at the height, look at the air position, look how straight he is right there. He's able to kind of just put the foot down and say, okay, that was awesome.
And then from there, the combo, he did not back off at all. Triple Lutz, nice and tight in the air, perfect landing, and up into the triple toe.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Mom.
He couldn't have asked for a better performance.
That might have been a little short on rotation. It'll be interesting if the judges will look at that and downgrade it. But there's your coach, Carol Heiss Jenkins, world champion, Olympic gold medalist in 1960. Wonderful human being and a great coach. He's done really well with Parker.
And we'll get his scores. He picked the perfect time and the perfect place for the performance of his life. And he's rewarded with a 76.17. Right among the leaders. Parker Pennington in third place for the moment.
But this year I really feel like I can spice things up, shake it up a bit. I feel a little more confident in my chances at winning.
Confidence makes an opponent powerful. Fresh off his Grand Prix final win, our new leader is hungry for more. The only thing harder than winning this title is defending it. This season has not been Evan's best. Will the two-time defending champ prove himself worthy again? Or will a new challenger step up? It's no longer a two-man game. Only 1 year left. Who goes and who goes home? That's the ultimate goal, Vancouver in the 2010 Olympics. Jeremy Abbott backstage awaiting his call to the ice. Still to be decided, the men's championship, the free skate to come for Abbott and for Evan Lysacek, the two-time defending champion. Already we've seen Johnny Weir skate in 7th place, disappointed after his short program, trying to redeem himself in his free skate, and it didn't quite happen for him there either. And a short time ago, he was joined in the AT&T Athlete Lounge by Andrea Joyce.
Well, Johnny was furious with himself after the short program. Your thoughts now after what unfolded out there after the free skate?
I fought back, and especially to make a huge mistake on the first jump. I fought back, and I'm not proud of myself, but I'm pleased that I didn't give up, and it would have been very easy for me to give up today, and I didn't.
What happened? This is such an unusual place for you to be in, not being in the last group, skating the way that you did. Was it the travel? Was it the sickness? You'd been sick a couple times this year. Can you try and figure out what happened out there?
Well, I had 2 very serious illnesses in the fall during the Grand Prix series, and then over Christmas I spent an evening in a Korean hospital hooked up to an IV machine, and I had a very bad stomach virus, and I lost 8 pounds. And when you're already a slight person, it's difficult to lose that much weight and come back from and continue training so rigorously like you have to be an elite figure skater. So it definitely affected my preparation for this competition.
Your bronze at the World Championships last year helped secure 3 spots for the U.S. men in this year's World Championships. After what happened here, though, what do you think your chances are of being named to that team?
I'm not very optimistic, but the people that decide, I hope, can look into the fact that I was very sick and that I can be better prepared for the World Championships, and that I was the top American last season, and this season I did very well for the American men as well. So I hope they consider my track record before just dismissing me over 2 bad performances when I know that it was because I was ill and wasn't able to prepare properly.
Okay, good luck and get healthy.
Thank you very much.
Tom?
All right, Andrea, and we hear Johnny lobbying there to be named to the World Championship team. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a no-brainer. I think absolutely. I come from a time in skating when if you were top 3 in the world, you assured your country 3 places at the next year's World Championships. One of them is yours. You earned it. You earned it for your country, and you earned it for yourself. I think he had a great season, 3rd at the Grand Prix final, 3rd at the World Championships last year. I think it's his spot.
I agree with you, and he could have withdrawn from this competition. He could have said, I was too sick, I haven't been able to train. Had he withdrawn, he would be named to the team. So I think that courage to compete out here should be acknowledged.
And when you consider his whole body of work, certainly he would seem deserving. And of course, the men's team will be named after we're off the air. It'll be on tonight when that men's team is selected. But if you'd like to keep up to date with what's going on, it'll all be at universalsports.com. Well, the other 3 disciplines have had their World Championship teams selected. Let's take a look at those. And in the ladies, Alyssa Cisney and Rachel Flatt. And I guess the big question is, can they take on the rest of the world and skate well enough to get the U.S. 3 spots in next year's Olympics?
Well, Rachel Flatt is a very consistent skater. You know she'll turn in a great performance. Alyssa Cisney, I think, got a very large primate off her back when she won her title. And she's got all the qualities to compete with any of the women in the world. She just keeps it together. She'll be just fine.
And the magic number is 13. Their placements at the World Championships have to total 13 in order for 3 to qualify to the Olympics. In other words, one has to place, say, 5th and 8th.
6th and 7th.
We'll take whatever, but that's their job.
All right, and here's the pairs world team, and it's going to be a brand new experience for that duo.
Oh, they're so cute at that age.
No experience and a whole lot of talent. Denny and Barrett, McLaughlin and Brubaker, just terrific teams out for the first time at the World Championships, and it's all about experience. And you know what? I think they can do it too. I think they can hit that 13 magic number too.
Well, McLaughlin and Brubaker have, great quality to their skating. They're young, they're emerging, but I think they're competitive. And I think that what they bring to the ice with their speed and their dynamic, and they're well trained. They're beautifully trained. She had a sickness here that kind of held her back a little bit. I think they're going to be a real breath of fresh air at the World Championships.
And the U.S. gets 3 spots in dance. And the big news here is that the 5-time U.S. champions, Tanith Belbin and Ben Augusto, who didn't compete here because Ben has a back injury, have been added to the World Championship team.
Arguably the best team the United States has ever produced in Tanith and Ben, and they deserve the spot, absolutely. But Meryl and Charlie are awesome. And again, I think the American dance is in the best place it's ever been on the international level, and I think we're really well represented at the World Championships.
It's going to be an exciting year.
Well, of course, it's going to be exciting here tonight, too, as Evan Lysacek and Jeremy Abbott, who are not separated by very much in the standings, will duel it out for the men's championship. What might be the deciding factor? Well, let's take a look at that with Tracy Wilson.
Well, Tom, if the long program is anything like the short program, the deciding factor will be the triple axel. Let's take a look at that element on the judging monitor and how that element was scored in the short program. All the skaters start with the same base element for the triple axel. It's an 8.2. Then it's up to the judges to decide how well was that axel performed. And they can grade from -3 all the way up to +3. Let's start with Evan Lysacek. The judges will look at all phases of the jump, starting with the entry into the jump. Evan had a fairly basic entry into the jump. Now here's his takeoff. That's where he struggles a little bit. His blade turning on the ice. He doesn't get a strong landing. Let's look at this jump again and watch here how he steps down on the left foot. It turns. And there you could see the blade shake a little bit. Doesn't get the height he needs. Now watch. A little forward on the toe. The snow flies. The blade slows down. And so he receives scores from the judges in the minuses, dropping his 8.2 base mark to 7.6. Now let's go ahead to Jeremy Abbott. Jeremy has a difficult entry planned into his triple axel. Watch how he steps on his right foot here, and he stays on that foot. He turns. He weaves, and this makes the balance tricky going into the jump. Here's his takeoff. gets nice down into his knees, up into the air. Look at the height there, the flow on his landing, and he stays on one foot again, once again weaving the landing of his jump now into the rest of the program. He scores well into the plus range, and that takes his jump up to 9.77. So he gains a 2-point edge over Evan Lysacek. Going into the free program, each of these guys will do 2 triple axels. That doubles Jeremy's advantage. And Tom, it was interesting. In the practice this afternoon, Evan Lysacek was warming up his quad triple. He must feel he needs it to take away Abbott's advantage with the triple axel.
Well, so Evan thinking about putting the quad into his program just because he needs to try to overhaul Jeremy Abbott, who comes into the free skate in first place. And the skater's about to be called on the ice for their warm-up.
This is very exciting. You've got the 2-time defending champion going to throw everything he possibly can at a skater who's coming in here with a lot of momentum and hunger.
What about the strategy of adding the quad, Evan's strategy?
He doesn't have a choice. He skates before Abbott, so he has to do everything he possibly can to garner as many points as possible.
Quad triple's a big point getter. The triple axel has given Evan a little bit of trouble. He was downgraded at Skate America this year. He lost 5 points on that one element that cost him the win there. So he knows that with Jeremy's triple axel, the quality of it, and the quad that he can do, that's the best thing he can do to throw at this up-and-comer to get his title back.
All right, that sets the stage for the men's free skate here at the AT&T U.S. Figure Skating Championships. We'll be back to Cleveland in a moment. Welcome back to Cleveland, where the final group of 6 skaters is on the ice for the men's free skate. And here are the standings after the short program. See how close it is. Jeremy Abbott leading Evan Lysacek, the 2-time defending champion, by 2.81 points.
And we just saw a quad triple combination from our defending champion. Beautifully done, just gorgeous. A lot of speed. 1, 2, straight as a stick. That was awesome. Boy, if he puts that in his program, that's going to throw some pressure up.
Yeah, and he's saying, not so fast. I'm the 2-time defending champion, and I'm not going to go easily for Jeremy Abbott, who's been the hot skater all season long. Well, we heard a little while ago that Tanith Belbin and Ben Augusto had been added to the U.S. World Championship dance team, and right now Tanith is with Andrea Joyce.
And Tom, as you know, they've been such a fixture at the national championships. It doesn't even seem like the nationals if I'm sitting here in the stands talking to you. It's kind of weird for sure. First things first, tell me about Ben's back. Give us an update, and if you think there's enough time to prepare properly for the World Championships.
There absolutely is enough time. He's recovering quicker than the doctors expected, so he's definitely making progress, and our spirits are lifting with the progress that he's making. So we've been named to the world team, and we'll absolutely make the most of our spot.
Okay, and you are here right now to watch your boyfriend, Evan Lysacek, skate. I know that you're trying to stay out of his line of sight now, but you did talk to him last night. How did he sound to you, and did you give him any advice on how to defend this title again?
I don't think he needs any of my advice. He definitely knows how to defend his title. He's done it already, and this year I think he's the best he's ever been.
How did he sound to you last night?
Very focused. He's a very concentrated competitor, and he's superstitious, and he likes to keep things very organized, so he's ready to go.
Okay, we'll let you take a deep breath and watch.
Thank you.
Okay, back to you, Tom.
All right, Andrea, so Tanith in the stands watching Evan. And Evan did look very focused to what we've seen so far in this warm-up.
He's had just the perfect warm-up.
There's something about experience,
yeah.
You know, you come into it with a calm, and I've been there, done that. I put, my hand on the stove, survived that.
And he's a tenacious competitor. He's a fighter.
Yeah, you're not going to see
He's not going to let this slip through his fingers.
His warm-up is ending. We know he's a fighter if you remember his performance at the Olympics when he had such a bad short program and then fought off illness and came back to wind up 4th overall at the Torino Olympics. That's when he showed us that he did have depth of courage.
Absolutely.
Evan will skate 3rd from last, and Abbott will be the final skater as we decide the men's championship.
We begin with a little youth.
Skate a good short program. You find yourself in the final flight.
Boston, Massachusetts, Curran Oy.
Curranoy, he's 18 years old from Wellesley, Massachusetts, where he's a senior at Wellesley High School, making his senior debut here and coming to the free skate, as you see, in 6th place with his long-term goal to make the Olympic team. Oh, the 2014 Olympic team.
Great piece of music, Bernstein's On the Waterfront.
He saw the movie in English class, and so he knows the story and was receptive to it being his program.
Single axle instead of a triple. My first year in senior men, I skated On the Waterfront.
Oh, did you?
Came in 9th. I think he's going to do a lot better. Triple flip here. A little tentative going into these jumps. It's not totally unexpected to see a junior be able to skate at this level after the short program. It's holding a long program together that's the challenge at this level. You get 30 seconds more music, a lot more jumps, and a lot stronger skating that you're trying to compete with. So you'll see a lot of these skaters just come here for the experience. Triple X here. Maturity and physical strength. You get stronger as you get older. Male skater.
When we were watching him in practice, Scott, do you remember we were talking about him looking like a very young Ilya Kulik?
Same carriage.
98 Olympic champion.
Triple combination here, triple flip, triple toe. He fought for that all the way. You're a little tired at this point in the program. That's why they give you a 10% bonus on all your point getting. Beautiful triple loop.
Last triple coming up. Lutz.
You know, you sense him getting stronger as the performance goes on. Nice double axle there.
Well, he may have one more triple in him.
The difference between him and the higher skaters, the more established skaters, are edge quality, depth of edge, getting into your knees, speed, height of jumps, and all these things he'll acquire over time. But as a debut performance on the senior level, this ain't all bad. I bet he wants that triple axle back, but I mean, he's gotten stronger and more confident as the program has gone on. Last triple there, Salchow. Right at the end of the program when your legs are just shot.
18-year-old Curran in his senior debut at the U.S. Nationals. We'll have his scores when we return to Cleveland.
Watch out, Billy, you're in. Billy.
Welcome back to Cleveland and the AT&T Athlete Lounge. What you first saw was not the U.S. Figure Skating Championship trophy. That was somebody's rear end, but that is the trophy. And there's Alyssa Cisney, and just on the left of your screen, Adam Rippon taking a look at it. They've got pairs facing out here. I don't know if they're planning something for the future or not, but for exclusive coverage from the 2009 U.S. AT&T Figure Skating Championships, go to NBCSports.com.
Oh, and by the way, Alyssa, your name's going to be on there forever.
They'll never be able to take it off. She's on her way, of course, to the World Championships. Now the scores for Curran.
Score 59.20. The second score for this performance, 121.27.
The free skate, 121.27. And overall, 194.03, which puts him, for now, into second place.
What a great senior debut for this young man. Got to be happy with that.
The ice on next competitor, representing the Bronco skating from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Here is Brandon Mroz.
Brandon Mroz is another skater making his senior debut. He's 18 years old, originally from St. Louis, now in Colorado Springs, where he trains with Jeremy Abbott and Ryan Bradley, also coached by Tom Zakrychek. And he's a senior at Cheyenne Mountain High School. Eventually wants to become a dentist or an orthodontist. Started out in hockey, and he said he was such a rebel he wound up in the penalty box all the time, so he went to figure skating instead.
Brandon's been impressive all week. He has great attack, and he's one of the few who will be attempting a quad.
This program is just loaded with jumps, quad toe here. Nicely done.
Oh, swish.
From a 4-revolution jump to something much easier. A 3.5 revolution jump, triple axel. So difficult forward takeoff. Spread eagle. Beautifully landed. Wow.
First-year seniors.
Could have fooled me. Through the program, he's putting this second triple axel in the bonus. 10% extra. Good speed going in. Triple axel. Don't turn out. Triple toe combination.
when a junior first enters the senior ranks, they're just focused on the jumps. And it's really obvious here that Brandon is paying attention to the choreography, working with the music. Really mature beyond his years.
Well, when you share a rank with Ryan Bradley and Jeremy Abbott, you're probably gonna improve rapidly. To senior debut is supposed to be a learning experience. I think he just schooled a lot of senior men.
What an impressive senior debut for Brandon Mroz.
What a combination of talent and extraordinary work ethic. You had to work to skate a program like that. Wow.
He's only going to get stronger, too. That's what's scary. That was impressive.
And a little wink for the camera. Many in the crowd are standing for Brandon Mroz. And next up will be Ryan Bradley when we return to Cleveland. We're back in Cleveland where the crowd is still buzzing about the performance of 18-year-old Brandon Mroz, who made his senior debut in spectacular fashion.
Unbelievable opening to this program, a quadruple toe loop, and look at the ease that he does this. 1, 2, 3, 4, totally backwards in control. Good speed coming out. Just watch how tight this rotation is. You're in the air less than 1 second, and he just gets right into the rotation. Ready, 1, 2, 3, 4. Totally backwards. Beautifully done. His first one in a major competition. They're so cute at that age.
He's been skating like that all week. It wasn't an accident. He's been skating like that all week. He's trained that hard.
And here are his scores. Needing 129.12 to take over the lead. The current standings.
Wow.
Oh, he did get that and then some. 154.82 for Brandon Mroz. Gives him a total of 229.7. And that is first place for the 18-year-old.
I guess no one told him the sport is difficult. You know, he's got to figure that out on his own. Wow. What a debut in his senior ranks. He's going to be
We'll be hearing about him for years to come.
And from an 18-year-old making his senior debut to a 25-year-old, Ryan Bradley.
He also represents the Broadmoor Skating Club in Colorado Springs, Colorado. A warm welcome now for Ryan Bradley.
This is Bradley's 9th trip as a senior to the U.S. Championships. In 2007, he finished 2nd, but then last year wound up 5th and thought about quitting because he said he felt old and tired, but the lure of the Olympics next year kept him in training. And here he is. He's a fan pleaser, too. He seems to always connect with the crowd.
With Brandon Mroz Mroz every day, so he knows what just preceded him. He's one that feeds off the crowd. Program very similar in its setup. Opening, quad toe in almost the exact same place. Quad toe hangs on to the landing, not perfect. Big quadruple toe loop there.
He did a fantastic quad triple combination in the short program and then made a horrible error on his lutz, doubling it instead of tripling it.
Triple axel combination here. Triple axel. And he fought for that because that landing on the triple axel is a little bit slower than what he needed for the triple toe, but he still gutsed it out. Triple Salchow singles. Then these momentary lapses in concentration, it seemed to haunt him this competition so far with the one mistake in the short and that mistake.
He really likes to project to the audience, and he gets excited about that and sometimes loses his concentration on a technical end.
Second triple axel right here. Big triple axel.
Here's that triple lutz. Did it this time.
Triple lutz. He's not going to get extra points for grades of execution, but he did pull off the next two jumps, which will give him a little extra. Triple flip there. Now he can do what he does best. Sell it, baby, sell it!
Spoken by the master.
Well, they made some mistakes, but the fans always respond, and they respond here with a standing ovation for Ryan Bradley, who skated in his first senior nationals the last time the event was held in Cleveland in 2000.
They just love him here. The Smucker strawberries are just plummeting onto the ice. Hundreds of them. He's mad at himself, though. You know, some performances just flow out of you. This one he had to work. This was not an easy skate for him.
And you know how much he would love to return to the World Championships. He had to withdraw last year after falling in practice.
Hope I got enough revs on it.
And he'd like to come back to the Olympics as well. Meanwhile, Ryan Bradley.
Quad toe in the opening. Look how high this gets. It's almost like he can't control the landing. He comes down. It's like, not going to touch, not going to touch, not going to touch, not going to touch.
And he didn't.
He'll still lose a little bit of quality on that, but he fought for that performance.
I'm not sure if that was a scream of anger or a scream of 155.66 is what he needs. And he won't get that. 147.35. And the total score, 221.40, moves him into second place. So he's right behind Mroz, his training mate.
And very, very strong. And when the time comes, you jump and brains out. Certainly. Here you are. Now, I want you to really take your time in a stride. Jump up, get in that backspin position, and get in there fast and tight and hard.
Final instructions from Coach Frank Carroll.
They're talking about that quad. Fast and tight and hard.
So here's Evan Lysacek trying to win his third straight U.S. championship. In second place, coming in after the short program. And trying to catch Jeremy Abbott to win his third straight.
The best thing you can do as a competitor is put on a clean performance. But when you're behind, sometimes you just got to pull it all out. Quad toe to open his program. Quad toe, we sat down on that. And the scoring changes that the ISU made this year in this system, it really punishes a fall. They will reward you for landing it, but if you take a risk like that, you're going to really suffer.
It's that risk reward that has had a lot of skaters taking the quad out of their programs.
And now the hard jump next is a triple axel. It's so difficult to get up after a fall, and cuts it out, but he's a competitor.
He's a competitor.
What am I talking about?
It's Evan.
Program brilliantly designed. Getting into the second half of the program. Bonus, another triple axel, this time in combination. Triple axel. Triple toe loop. Again,
everything's a fight. Nothing is flowing naturally. naturally for him.
Loop. Nice entry into this triple flip, double toe, double loop combination.
He's loosening up as the program progresses. These programs are just so jam-packed. Another triple flip. There's no time to catch your breath, and yet he's managing to.
Well, as the two-time national champion, if you want to win that title, you have one person to look at. It seems Jeremy's been preparing himself to beat Evan. And Evan knows it.
Open.
Wide.
Yep.
But he never gave up on the performance. Not for a second.
He fought for it, but will it be enough? Two skaters remain. Parker Pennington, who comes in third place, and the leader, Jeremy Abbott.
There's so many great qualities to Evan's skating. You know, the spin quality, the footwork, all the stuff that he pulls, all the levels out. He squeezes every point he can out of this 4.5 minutes. But a little bobble, you know,
right.
that'll cause some GOE problems, some great of execution minuses. The quad, which he'll probably get 0 points for.
But he never loses the intensity of his performance. He never gives that up.
Not for a second. And he went for it.
He did.
Well, my friend needs a
Well, we'll take a look at his scores when we come back to the 8th. We're back in Cleveland, where Evan Lysacek and his coach Frank Carroll await the scores of his free skate. Up in the stands, Tanith Bellman manages a smile, but Evan's girlfriend does not look happy. Checking her earlier. Here are the scores. Hitting 146.12.
He only got 1 point on the quad. I admire
Minus
the risk.
the deduction for the fall. That's 0.
But I admire the risk taken.
But it's
costly, I know, but as an athlete, you've got to admire somebody who goes for it.
But devastating. He's behind Brandon Mroz.
Yeah.
So Brandon Mroz, the 18-year-old, remains in first place. Evan Lysacek in second. And so for the first time in 5 years, the U.S. champion will not be named Weir or Lysacek.
Who'd have thunk? Wow. Wow. I mean, Brandon threw it down. He really gave a great performance. But Evan, again, they're so punishing now for a fall like that, especially on the quad.
Carol Heiss-Jenkins, the 1960 Olympic champion, coaches the next skater, Parker Pennington, here in Cleveland. It's his 8th trip to the Senior Nationals. His best finish was 6th in 2003. Just this past summer, reunited with Carol Heiss-Jenkins and returning to Cleveland, where he had been with her for 10 years, from 92 to 2003.
world team. Been around a long time. Skated the short program of his life. Doesn't waste any time opening the triple axel. He took a really hard, nasty fall in the warm-up. And that sometimes can throw your timing, your concentration. Right into a difficult combination here. Triple Lutz, double, into triple.
What's amazing, too, is that he has vertigo. I don't see how you can spin and jump. And
it was just diagnosed this summer, so he's just learning to deal with it. It affects his rotation.
And short program is one thing, but long program, that's a lot more jumping, a lot more spinning.
And especially a long program after placing third in the short and knowing how close you are.
First Lutz, he's got another one planned here. Most difficult jump planned for the rest of the program. The same place as the first one. This time he rotates it. Trying to gather his strength. Going into this jump here, triple flip. Hangs onto the landing, but it was possible combination opportunity there.
He's settling in a little better. It seems like he held his breath from the moment his name was called, even before his music. And for the first minute and a half, he was just so tight.
Triple flip again. You're tired. It's last 45 seconds of your program. That Friday morning that he'd be skating right after having Lysacek in the final group of this competition, he would have said, yeah, right. But he skated a brilliant short program. He's had a hard time keeping it together throughout this long program. You want to compete at this level, you've got to skate as clean as you possibly can, and made a few mistakes.
That was a tough one.
Cleveland's Parker Pennington. Next up, the final skater, Jeremy Abbott. He's the leader. If he's to claim his first U.S. championship, he'll have to catch his training partner, Brandon Mroz, the 18-year-old who bides his time in the AT&T Athletes Lounge. Yeah, your throat gets a little dry when there's one skater left deciding whether you're going to be the U.S. champion or not. That's Brandon Mroz in first place. And after the short program, Jeremy Abbott was in first place. This is his free skate to decide the U.S. champion. Will it be 18-year-old Brandon Mroz or 23-year-old Jeremy Abbott? First, the scores for Parker Pennington. Obvious disappointment. And here come the scores.
The technical element score, 55.
16.31.
The program component score.
And the total, 192.48. Puts Parker into 7th place after coming in 3rd in the short program. So a disappointment in the free skate for Parker Pennington. And now all eyes turn to the rink and Jeremy Abbott. Brandon Mroz is trying to distract himself, but there's Jeremy, who had a personal best 86.40 after the short program. He's from Aspen, Colorado, trains in Colorado Springs with Brandon Mroz and with Ryan Bradley, who's currently in 3rd place.
Breathe. Movement is
Representing the Baltimore skating club in Colorado Springs, Colorado, here is Jeremy Abbott.
Well, Jeremy has been the talk of U.S. figure skating in recent months. He won the Grand Prix final, and his total score there was the highest ever by a U.S. man under the code of points. Paul Wiley, the 1992 Olympic silver medalist, has been working with him. He responded with a personal best in the short program, now trying to cap it off with his first U.S. championship. He's been 4th the last 2 years.
That this is totally teed up. He couldn't ask for a better situation. He's got basically a 12-point lead over Brandon Mroz going into this competition. Opens with the triple Lutz. Beautifully landed, a little flow coming out.
The advantage of skating last. He knows he doesn't need a quad. He hasn't competed with one this year, so he's not doing it. Instead, he's going for a clean performance.
Will flip a little sneaky off the toe. Didn't get the height he normally gets. For the most difficult jump in this program.
Watch the entry off the 1 foot.
Triple axel, nicely landed. So much speed coming out of these jumps. in the last 2 national championships. Sometimes a skater can get stuck there. Big combination right here, triple axel. Double toe loop. He barely hung on to that landing. It was
Stuck
like
his tongue out. Audience applauding his footwork. That's where he collects all his points, on all the elements in between the jumps and spins.
And you just sense a difference in him this year. Triplets here. Triple double toe loop. He was going for a triple. Couldn't quite get that last rotation out. No deductions or anything.
There's not as many points, right?
Right.
Exactly. But his presence and the command he has over this choreography is just elevated to another level. Whoops. Single loop instead of a triple. Again, just a lapse of concentration there. Mroz is capable of doing. He also knew he had a big lead, but the mistakes he made, the little
It was a tight performance, wasn't it, Scott?
It'll be interesting to see.
He did a lot.
That last triple toe loop, if it made a difference, whether or not he left the door open for
He skated so freely this entire season, but he was always the underdog. When you come in as the leader, it's just a whole different ball game.
And especially after the short program, he had the target on his back. And that pressure perhaps causing a couple of miscues, but with a lead going in and still a fine program, will it be enough for him to claim the championship? Or will it go to that man, Brandon Mroz, who trains with Jeremy Abbott? And with Ryan Bradley, by the way, who is in third place at the moment. Quite an impressive group.
Because it wasn't about perfection. It was about you being in the moment and fighting and adjusting. And that's so important. That's important for you, maybe not today, but later, right? So you remember that you can fight through the meet. Proud of you. Thank you. Great job. Let's have a seat.
That coach right there, Tom Zakrajcek, what a nationals he's had.
Wow.
You know,
Really?
3 guys in the final group. They all train together. I mean, they know what each other can do. You got Ryan Bradley, Brandon Mroz. And
But what's so
Jeremy.
great is he took that opportunity, this opportunity, to continue teaching him. And, you know, no breaks here. It's like, no, you have to learn from this experience, because now that you're at the top, you have to do it under this kind of pressure, as he did with this triple axel. Just beautiful.
The flow coming out of these difficult jumps is just really wonderful. You love to see that as a skater. And then easy triple loop, not gonna happen. A little pop there, and he's probably thinking right now, what? I never do that. That's crazy.
You want to get on the world podium, you can't do that.
Now watch the
He's just
separation here. It
learned
should
that
go right
here.
into rotation. So the leg goes, nope.
Yeah.
They know the timing's off. Your body won't let you do it. Uncharacteristic mistake from somebody who's had a phenomenal year. But again, opening the door for Brandon Mroz.
All 3 on the podium. Can't complain.
It's all in the hands of the judges. There are the current standings. Jeremy needs 143.31.
143? Oh, I can do that.
Oh, I can do that. That makes one of us.
His personal best in the free skate was in the Grand Prix final, 159. So it's within his range, although that was not his best performance. Already he set a personal best in the short program.
Well, it's 6 triples. I mean, technically 6 triples against a quad and 8 triples. So, I mean, right there, you look at the points and go, It all depends on the other 4.5 minutes. You know, that he wasn't in the air.
And the lead that he has going into this.
And that means?
Kung Fu Panda. So now everybody's Goodish.
Of course, you want your first title to be the dream performance of a lifetime and everything else. I'm sure there's a few moments there he wants back, but still, what a year he's put together.
He's had the dream season, hasn't he?
And so is Brendan Mroz.
Speaking of dream performances.
Well, that really shakes it up now for the world team selection.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be an interesting meeting, a very vibrant meeting.
If you add Johnny Weir to the team, who do you bump?
Exactly. It's going to be a tough decision.
Needing 143.31. Will it be Jeremy Abbott or will it be Brandon Mroz?
What's exciting about this also is to see such depth in men's figure skating right now.
In any event, we have seen a changing of the guard. Which one will it be? 155.49. It will be Jeremy Abbott, U.S. champion. He had enough. He pulled it out as the training partners finished 1-2. Back to Cleveland in a moment. So it has been a changing of the guard, and for the first time in 5 years, the U.S. champion is not Evan Lysacek or Johnny Weir. It is that man, Jeremy Abbott, autographing the camera, no less. Here are the final standings. Jeremy Abbott, Brandon Mroz, the training partners in Colorado Springs, Evan Lysacek third, Ryan Bradley, who also trains with the top 2 in Colorado Springs, in 4th, and Johnny Weir in 5th. And time now for our State Farm I'm There moment, and it is 18-year-old Brandon Mroz.
This quadruple jump, swish, no problem. No one told me skating's difficult. They forgot to tell me that when I was growing up in this sport.
That's our State Farm I'm There moment, brought to you by State Farm. Well, Jeremy Abbott is the champion. The big question now will be the World Championship team. Will Johnny Weir be added? And if so, who will he bump? Universal Sports will have the answer for you tonight. Log on and check it out. Don't forget, next Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday here on NBC. Day-long coverage before the Steelers take on the Cardinals. Go to IceNetwork.com to relive all the excitement from Cleveland and to watch the entire ISU Grand Prix Series. For Sandra Bezick, Scott Hamilton, Tracy Wilson, Andrea Joyce, this is Tom Hammond saying so long from Cleveland.